Well, hello there. So I've got this 50-inch Toro TIMECUTTER and I'm about to change the oil in it for the first time. This is a Kawasaki engine with a FR691V twin or V-twin overhead valve. You know the drill. If you're watching this video, you probably have one or something similar. On this machine, the drain plug is down on the bottom of the engine over here, but there's no cutout in the frame for the oil to drain through. There's no drain tube, there's nothing. If I open that up, it's just going to spill oil all over the metal that the engine is sitting on, and that's not okay. There is sort of a valve thing on the bottom of the engine. I'll show that to you in a second. And it's got a spot where it looks like a hose can pop on, but the hose doesn't come with the machine. Or maybe it's supposed to and mine just didn't, I don't know. So what I've done is I went and bought a piece of tubing that is ½ inch inside diameter, and that looks like it's going to be the right size. So here's the tube I got. Ace Hardware, $2. This is a 2-foot piece. I don't need to cut it. I don't care if it's long. I'm not going to leave it on the machine. I'm just going to pop it on there, drain the oil, pop it off, set it aside. The end of the season, when I change the oil again, I'll pop it back in place. Maybe down the road, if I feel like it, I'll come up with some sort of more permanent solution. But to buy the part from Kawasaki, or even to get it off of Amazon or some other place online, it's not cheap. You know, this was $2, so I think I'll go with this method. So it's a little tight getting down in there, but hopefully this will make it so you can see what I'm talking about. But here's the oil drain right here. There's a little spot on here for a tube to pop on, and it's got a little barb on it, so I could put the tube on there, put a clamp on it and leave it in place, but I'm not going to do that today. But it looks like if I put a tube on here, I can open this screw and the oil will drain out through this this area here, through this barb. I'm also going to change the oil filter, which is right here. Just be nice if Kawasaki would include this drain tube with the machine, because if you can see down here, there's no place for that oil to go. There's a small hole right here, but it's nowhere near where that oil is going to drain out, and so the oil is just going to run all over the place on the bottom of this metal piece. So try not to block your view here, but there's where I need to plug this into. Trying not to get my fat head in the way. Pretty tricky to get the camera on it and get the hand in there. So I think you can see that this tube just slid right on. So I've just got it running right here. This is a 10 millimeter, but it's plastic. So I imagine some care needs to be taken. Wasn't very tight, which is okay. One thing my dealer warned me about was, because I have the bagger, the air cleaner is more likely to get debris up in there, you know, and they were right. I got this machine in June. It's now May. I haven't run it yet this year, but this is from last year. I got this air cleaner from my dealer, and it was, I don't know, $17. But it has the wrap on it, the pre-filter, I guess they call it, right? And I could find this at my big box store, and they wanted $21, $24, something like that. And it didn't have the pre-filter on it, the wrap. So hooray for the dealer, right? Who would have thought usually dealers are more expensive, but maybe that's only for car dealers. Same thing goes for my oil filter. Got this at the dealer, $9.99, $10, right? Same filter at a big box store. It was, I don't know, 15, 16 bucks. I don't know. I don't know why. Typically, I would have thought the dealer would have cost more, but I'm glad it did. I don't know if you can see that, but there is a little oil that leaked out from that valve assembly. Just clean that up a little bit, and we should be good to go. Oh, that's gonna make a mess. I needed more than one paper towel in there, that's for sure. There is a slot in this plug here, in this nut, to put a screwdriver, but since it's plastic, I probably won't do that. So I'm looking at my owner's manual about what the oil capacity is in this machine, and it shows with the filter 70 fluid ounces. So I'm going to need a little over 2 quarts. The book here says it gives you a sort of a range with a temperature range with what oil you should run. And since this is a lawnmower, it's always going to be run in relatively warm weather, right? So according to this, 50 degrees and above, it goes to 100 and the arrow shows beyond, right? So anything over 50 degrees Fahrenheit, you can run SAE 30. And so that's what I'm going to run. I ran 30 weight in my rider for 28 years, and I never had a problem. In fact, when I got rid of that darn thing, the engine still ran good. It was the mower that was falling apart, so I had to get rid of it. So I got SAE 30 here, but I got the Walmart brand. I don't know if that's going to be a bad thing, but it does have the API service logo on here, so it should be just fine. I've never used this oil before, Super Tech, but we'll see how it goes. I think it'll be all right. So I'm still not sure how I feel about a zero turn. I tend to grind my lawn up while making turns, and I've tried several different techniques, and it's certainly, you know, I do expect that it's the way I'm doing it, but boy, I'm struggling to find a solution, and I'm starting to think it's not me. I'm starting to think that it's a zero turn, the way they function with the individual control at each wheel. I don't know. I'm a little disappointed in that it's not a little bit easier to master, because I am grinding my lawn to a pulp in the places where I commonly turn around. I still got to get the practice in, I guess. I'll give it a little more time, but even the casters on the front tend to grind a spot when I'm doing turns. But even if I'm going straight and I back straight back out, the casters do a 180 and they tend to grind the turf as well. So I don't know. So before I start this puppy, I'm going to change this air cleaner. It looks like they make it easy. This top hose clamp has sort of a wing nut on it, so you can loosen it quite easily. Whew! What a mess. Nice. That's what the dealer was talking about when he mentioned the bagger. With the old and with the new, I just gave that air box a little bit of a wipe down and a quick vacuum. All right, let's start it. Get the oil moving around, and then I'll check it again. Let's check it. Oh, and Mike, if you haven't noticed, I'm all out of blue towels. Overall, it's not a bad machine. I just need to keep practicing with it because I'm a little disappointed about how the turning sort of grinds up my lawn, but I'm getting better at it, I think. I don't know. I think I've got it down, but I still see the damage to my lawn, and that bothers me. I sometimes makes me question if this was a good investment, or should I have just gone the old school way with the garden tractor, because those do a nice job too. Anyway, I appreciate you watching. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time.